I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club. And you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Politicians are Judas Goats. Slick talkers who look like leaders, but are really just herding you right toward the slaughterhouse. They sell you shiny illusions like street hustlers peddling fake Rolexes. Convincing you your vote is a magic wand, while they pull the strings behind the curtain. The show runs smoother when the flock believes in free choice. So they keep the circus going, year after year, with new Judas Goats leading you straight to the same outcome. Look at it for what it is, an illusion of democracy, sold as empowerment. You pick your side, wave your flag, argue online, and feel like you are part of history. Meanwhile, the people at the top laugh all the way to the bank. The red team and blue team both serve the same donors. And you are cheering for one while they cash in on both. It's not government, it's theatre. A high-budget psychological operation exploiting humanity's oldest flaw. Our worship of saviours, every election cycle, it's the same setup. Promises, slogans, bright lights, hope and change, make it great again, rebuilding together. They roll out the buzzwords, while every would-be messiah lines up for your faith. And half of them are Judas Goats by design, built to betray you from the start. They look like your guy until the votes are counted, then flip to serve the elites who paid their way. Take the US. Obama promised truth and unity. Trump promised disruption. Trump especially styled himself as the wrecking ball who drained the swamp, yet was soon raking in corporate cash from Chevron, Exxon, and Elon Musk's $290 million innovation fund. By 2026, with Trump back in power and parading through Davos with the same billionaires he claimed to fight, it's clear the swamp doesn't get drained. It expands. Deregulation for donors, tax breaks for the rich, and crypto loopholes big enough to fly a private jet through. The game was never to save you. It was to sell you the illusion of rebellion. But it's not just America. Across the globe, the same farce plays out on repeat. Biden, Trudeau, Macron, and now Anthony Albanese smiling awkwardly beside them at WEF 2026, nodding through global collaboration panels sponsored by the same corporations crushing the working class back home. Labour or Liberal, Democrat or Republican, both sides sip champagne at the same elite conferences, while their citizens drown in debt and rent. Albanese promises cost of living relief, but rents keep climbing and mining giants keep getting richer. Morrison's ghosts linger. And the result doesn't change. The people lose, donors win, and Australia's not unique. It's global. WEF 2026 is a prime example, the same familiar faces gathering in the snow, pretending to fix problems they caused. There's Trump shaking hands with bankers, Albanese talking climate transition while approving new coal exports. Macron lecturing about democracy while gassing his own protesters. Every one of them a polished Judas Goat. Talking about a better world as they march you deeper into control. So why do people keep falling for it? It all comes down to psychology. Humans crave authority, safety, belonging. We want to believe someone out there is fighting for us, that our team is the good one. Politicians exploit that need. They use emotional triggers, not logic. They cast themselves as dads, rebels, warriors, saviours, whatever your personal myth demands. Obama was the cool dad who'd fix racism. Trump was the alpha who'd crush corruption. Albanese is the mild, caring everyman. But it's all engineered through focus groups and psychological profiling. It's not policy. It's hypnosis. This is how it works. They trigger your fear, fear of the other side, fear of collapse, then sell you safety through loyalty. Once you attach, you stop questioning. Overconfidence keeps you thinking your vote still matters. Confirmation bias blinds you to their hypocrisy. Sunk cost fallacy locks you in because switching sides feels like betrayal. Add social pressure, friends, family, media, and boom. You've got a nation of obedient voters defending billionaires who don't even know their names. The studies are clear. It doesn't matter who wins. Policy outcomes barely shift. Wars drag on. Middle class taxes rise. The elite stay untouchable. The playbook hasn't changed in 100 years. Divide the people, sell outrage, and profit off chaos. Today's politicians don't need tanks. They've got algorithms. Your feed becomes your leash. The media amplifies fear. Every viral headline is a shock treatment reminding you which goat to follow. Watch how they dodge real conversations. Ask about national debt. They pivot to fear. Ask about housing. They cry racism. Or inflation buffers. Ask about corruption. They just deploy another scandal as distraction. It's not leadership. It's emotional warfare. And the crowd eats it up. Voters wear "I voted" stickers like holy relics, as if participation in a corrupted system makes them virtuous. But the truth, democracy as we practice it, is a corporate franchise. Citizens United made sure of that. Donors own the booths, algorithms own the voters. Your choice is between brands, not leaders. The scale is global now, from Canberra to Washington to Davos. Remember, the WEF doesn't represent humanity. It represents capital. It's ground zero for networking among global Judas Goats. Politicians, CEOs, and influencers who pretend to argue in public, then align in private. Beneath the talk of innovation and equity, the real agenda is control. Data banking, AI, energy, they call it shaping the future. You're just not invited to the meeting. So where does this end? It ends when people stop worshipping idols, when we stop treating politicians as messiahs. They are not your saviors. They are salesmen, parasites feeding off your belief, gaming your psychology, using your hope as currency. You want real change? Build parallel systems. Trust communities, not parties. Trade skills, not slogans. Use cash when you can. Stop giving energy to their illusion. Because the truth is simple. Power selects for narcissists. The charming liars rise, the honest ones get crushed, and the cycle repeats. Trump, Albanese, and every smiling face at WEF 2026 are proof. You don't climb their ladder by caring about people. You climb it by selling people out. Women don't fall for empowerment slogans that chain you to new forms of dependency. Men stop worshipping strong men who only use your anger to send you to wars you'll never win. Everyone, stop confusing politics with salvation. If this hit a nerve, good. That means the illusion's cracking. Smash that like button if you are done being herded. Drop a comment with the biggest political lie you once believed. Because until people stop cheering for their Judas Goats, the slaughterhouse door stays open. And remember, the next big leader is already being tested in focus groups. Don't be their data point. Be ungovernable. Quick heads up before we keep going. I've got a Facebook page where I post a lot more of this stuff. It's not a business page, it's not monetized, and it's not a brand. It's a non-profit page. I run it purely because I think these conversations actually matter. No sponsors, no ads, no fake positivity, just raw clips, thoughts, arguments, humour, and uncomfortable topics people avoid. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not pushing an agenda. It's just a place for people who still like thinking, questioning, disagreeing, and laughing without everything being cleaned up for algorithms. If you agree with me, disagree with me, or just want somewhere that isn't filtered to death, the link's there. You'll usually see stuff that Ubisoft is still making the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, and it's planned for release in 2026. This is official from Ubisoft Communications and their support info. Some industry insiders and leakers, like Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson, have repeatedly claimed the remake is targeting mid-January 2026. But no official date has been confirmed yet. In other news, the problem with modern activism isn't that everyone wants to be an activist, at least for a moment. They repost whatever's trending in the mainstream, pat themselves on the back, and move on as if something meaningful happened. Ignorance becomes a comfort zone. And when people can't organise or genuinely discuss ideas, those ideas fade into nothing. So day after day, everyone jumps online to shout their opinions, then disappears until the next outrage cycle. The louder voices compete, not for progress, but for attention. And yet, despite all that noise, they fear change. Whether it's artificial intelligence, cultural diversity, or anything that challenges their sense of control. But change is inevitable. You can't control the narrative forever. Meanwhile, responsibility is dodged, and independent thought pushed aside. The expectation is that everyone must conform or be cut off and condemned. Then, it's right back to shouting into the void again. I'll keep doing these segments, but I've started holding back my creativity. Too many of my ideas get taken without credit, and honest appreciation is rare. If people insist on doing it their way, that's fine, but don't expect everyone else to follow. Immigration will continue, artificial intelligence will advance, the world will change. And if you can't keep up, you'll simply be left behind. I don't see it as turning my back. I see it as walking away from those who turn theirs first. What sets me apart is that I don't hold back. I'm not biting my tongue to please anyone. I'll speak my mind, call out whoever or whatever needs to be called out. And I'll do it with brutal honesty. But let's be clear, this only works if this channel actually goes somewhere. If it doesn't, I'll move on. Simple as that. I'm not aligned with anyone, and I don't have time for anyone pretending otherwise. I only stand with those who share the message and help this channel grow. Everyone's playing a role, except me. Everything I am today, I built myself to be, and I'm done pretending. If you value what I bring, then support the channel. Subscribe, share the videos. The days of giving everything away for free are over. People have already made up their minds, and I'm not putting myself on the line for those who don't appreciate it. I've given a lot of my time and effort over the years, but now I'm cutting the flow and moving forward on my own terms. Now back to the video.
Slacktivism critique. As the challenge exploded, so did the backlash. Critics coined new terms: slacktivism, hashtag activism, narcissism disguised as altruism. Ariel Pardes wrote in Vice, "This is the crux of millennial hashtag activism, where instead of actually doing something, you can just pretend like you're doing something by posting things all over your Facebook." The criticism was harsh, but often accurate.
Let's be honest. Modern activism has turned into a clown show. Everyone with a smartphone suddenly becomes a world savior for about 5 seconds. They post a hashtag, slap a black square on their feed, and bask in the glow of 16 likes, thinking they just toppled a dictatorship. Then they toss their phone aside, grab a snack, and pat themselves on the back like heroes of justice. This phenomenon even has a name: slacktivism. It's activism for the lazy. It's people acting like they are changing the world while doing as little as humanly possible. And worse, it becomes the default mode of civic engagement. Here's how it usually plays out. Some kind of outrage explodes online, a politician says something offensive, a scandal breaks, or a viral video shocks the internet. Within hours, social media turns into a digital mob. Everyone posts the same slogans, the same angry emojis, and the same recycled quotes, pretending it's an uprising. Hashtag justice for whoever. You can practically predict it before the first post drops. But by tomorrow, gone. The outrage disappears faster than a Snapchat streak. The people who were just calling for revolution have moved on to cat videos, Taylor Swift gossip, or memes about petrol prices. Slacktivism isn't activism. It's junk food for the conscious. It's cheap, it's easy, and it makes you feel good for about 5 minutes. But it doesn't fuel real change. It's like pounding down a Big Mac and convincing yourself you ran a marathon. People love to scream about the climate crisis, but still order Uber Eats in 5 layers of plastic. They rage about human rights while buying fast fashion made under horrific conditions. They tweet about animal cruelty while scoffing a chicken schnitzel sandwich. It's moral fast food. Quick to consume, even quicker to forget. The truth is, this isn't about justice. It's about dopamine. When you post something righteous, you get rewarded. Likes, comments, little digital pats on the head. That's all your brain needs. It's validation disguised as activism. Back in the caveman days, people got that same rush from belonging to a tribe. You'd yell, "Me hate enemy," and your clan would cheer, giving you that sweet hit of approval. Now, it's just "Me hate capitalism," or "Me support feminism," while your phone buzzes with heart reacts. It's the same ancient desire to be part of the group, just with better lighting and worse spelling. And science backs this up. Studies have shown that people who talk about doing good online are actually less likely to do good offline. The moment you change your profile picture or tweet a moral statement, your brain checks off the good person box. You've already rewarded yourself, so there's no need to actually follow through. It's activism's placebo pill. Then there's the competition for moral superiority. A blood sport on social media. Everyone's fighting to prove they care the most. Someone says, defund the police. Someone says, abolish the police. And a third person tweets a meme about both being problematic. It spirals into outrage Olympics, where nobody builds anything new, they just demolish each other. You see it on every issue. Feminism becomes a shouting match over language. Climate activism becomes a TikTok trend full of celebrities who fly private jets to raise awareness. Politics turns into a meme war where every disagreement ends in name calling. People aren't trying to fix problems. They are trying to out-virtue each other. And let's not even start on how little most people actually know about the issues they are yelling about. They see a headline, skim an article someone else skimmed, whip up a hot take, and hit post. That's it. Instant expert. The next day, they forget all about it. Meanwhile, the real world keeps moving. Artificial intelligence is destroying jobs. Housing prices are crushing entire generations. Mass migration is reshaping economies. The whole planet's changing and people are still glued to their screens thinking a TikTok trend can stop global warming. And when someone does point out the hypocrisy or suggests actually doing something, volunteering, fundraising, voting, they get attacked. Because real activism requires effort. And effort doesn't trend. Posting is safe. You can't fail. You can't be challenged. And you never have to leave your house. This is what makes slacktivism so seductive. It gives you all the emotional rewards of action without any of the risk. You get to feel righteous without being responsible. It's activism with Wi-Fi. But that digital high doesn't last forever. After a few months of doom scrolling through disaster after disaster, the burnout hits. People post about their mental health and compassion fatigue, not realizing they did it to themselves. You can't spend 12 straight hours feeling outrage and expect to be okay. Instead of channeling that energy into something useful, they drown in it. They don't log off. They self-destruct online. That's why movements don't die from oppression anymore. They die from exhaustion. You can't sustain a revolution when everyone's glued to their screens, fried by algorithms, and addicted to applause. Meanwhile, the people who actually make progress aren't screaming into the void. They are building businesses, volunteering, coding, teaching, grinding it out quietly. They don't need hashtags. They've got results. They are busy shaping the world while the slacktivists are still arguing in their replies. And deep down, that's what scares people. It's easier to rage online than it is to fail in real life. Real activism means risk. You might lose, look stupid, or hit dead ends. Posting is safe, building isn't. So instead of uniting for a cause, we splinter into digital tribes, each convinced we are the good guys. While algorithms stir the pot, cash the ad revenue, and laugh at how easy we are to manipulate. That's the real tragedy. Slacktivism keeps us busy enough to feel useful, but numb enough to never change anything. It's comfort disguised as courage. The internet gave us the greatest communication tool in history, and we turned it into a therapy platform for guilt and vanity. We confuse noise for progress, hashtags for policies, and likes for laws. The people actually fixing things are invisible. The people performing outrage are trending. But the world's moving on fast. AI doesn't care about your pronouns. The housing market doesn't respond to hashtags. Border policies don't shift because you changed your profile picture. Reality doesn't refresh like your feed. It keeps grinding forward, full speed, while you argue emojis. So yeah, keep posting, keep ranting, keep congratulating each other for being aware, but don't pretend it's a revolution. Because when the dust settles, when the algorithm moves on and the next crisis hits, nothing's changed but your feed. Real activism happens in the mess of the real world. Face to face, risk and all, slacktivism. It's not fire, it's smoke from the burning of your attention span. A wet fart in the windstorm of history. You can tweet all you want, but the future won't wait for your Wi-Fi to load.